By all means, please proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, so next to me is Robert Carver, the loan processor, who will provide kind of like a grassroots introduction to the NARF, Native Hawaiian Loan Revolving Fund program. Also in the audience is Lorena, a loan officer, and Stephen, the NARF's underwriter. Over there. So they're here also for any really hard questions.
Aloha, Chair, Board of Trustees.
Aloha.
We appreciate this time to share OHA's loan fund with you. Native Hawaiian Revolving Loan Fund, revolving meaning the funds continue to come back in and be used. So we're appreciative of Mona, our interim manager. Aikui Kalima ended his time with us in July of 2024. She's been here to guide us these months, and we're appreciative of her time. Managing a loan fund and being a CFO is a very difficult task.
Yeah.
If we can go to the next slide, please. I wanted to share with you in a nutshell, briefly, what is a loan fund for those of you who may not have these details. In 1989, the loan fund was established. In 2025, it represents 36 years of providing loan funds to Native Hawaiians. It was formed with a partnership with the Administration for Native Americans and the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Between 1981 and 2001, ANA contributed approximately $12.9 million, and OHA an additional $9.9 million of non-federal funds. And that's how we started the loan fund back in 1989. So that's a total of $22.8 million that we are continuing to use as a revolving loan fund at this time. As of April 2025, we've dispersed $77.8 million of funds, loans that have closed, meaning that the funds have revolved over 3 times that amount of 22.8 that we started with. ANA functions as a government regulatory agency. They oversee the loan fund. Speaking for myself, I'm very appreciative of their oversight and their guidance since I've been with the loan fund in 2007. We also have a NARF board of directors who represent all of the islands. There's a total of 7 of them. These are individuals who vote on our loans almost daily and represent all of the islands, including 2 on Oahu and a OHA representative, Keith Gutierrez, the research manager for the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Next slide, please. They are, there is 1 that is current staff, Keith Gutierrez, and 6 that are volunteers. Yeah. So what we do almost on a daily basis is we email them loans to review. And they let us, when we got a quorum, we will notify that beneficiary of the loan decision. I wanted to share with you the flyers that we share in outreaches, as well as when individuals contact us. Hey, I'm interested in a loan. So on the left flyer is all of the left side is the consumer loans of education, home improvement, and debt consolidation. On the right-hand side is our Malama loan, which is for startup or expanding existing businesses. And then Hua Canoe, which is the larger business loan for businesses that have shown at least 3 years of positive growth. On the right is our Mahiai agricultural loan. We wanted to provide to those who are passionate about ag and farming a loan fund to help them to start a farm or expand it. Now, what we provide is a upfront, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of the word. There's a 6 month where we defer payments so that they can go ahead and start growing their crops. And then in approximately 6 months, they'll have funds to pay back the loan. The Mahiai loan, we still don't have an actual beneficiary who has our loan fund. What is interesting about the Mahiai is you have to be an established business. We want to see income from your business, your farm. So we have to groom them into thinking of a non-cash basis type of income, but to have an account and be structured like a business so that we can help you to continue to thrive in your farm. Trustees, any questions on what has been presented so far?
Yes, hi, I have a question regarding the farm, the Mahiai Agriculture Loan Program. How many farm slash businesses do we have we given loans to?
So we've had about, I'd say, 6 to 10 individuals who have shown interest, and we've gone through with them on obtaining the documents.
Since this has been established?
Yes, it
That's it?
is just barely over 2 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, go ahead. You want to finish?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
And then I'll go to him next.
Individuals have provided documentation, and in the process, we've noticed, or I've notified and let them know credit scores are too low, or we don't have enough income for you to manage a loan from OHA. It would be too much risk to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. So we try to provide them technical assistance options so that they can do their homework to prepare financially as well as credit-wise, so that they can come back to us
Great.
and
Try again.
qualify
Yeah,
and
we'll
get
try
the
again.
funds.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Trustee Aquina.
Thank you, Robert, and congratulations on just the success of the program. It's
Oh.
exciting to see people helped. Now, I don't know if this has always been the case, but certainly what I would assume is the case now. You must be managing very low default rates.
Just gonna ask that.
Yes, I'm
And
gonna,
Could you address that on the personal loan side and on the business loan side?
I'm gonna ask our team if they would know what that is. Approximately 7% at this time.
For both personal and business?
Yes.
It's very good.
Mhm.
And so you've worked hard in the recruitment process and the grooming of people. in getting people ready to take.
Yes,
get the loans.
so we have loans coming in daily. We're intaking those. And then we're taking loans through the process of getting all their documents. And then our team underwrites those loans. And then we notify the applicant of the decision. We have a loan closing today at 11:30.
How many, I'm sorry, go ahead, Trustee Galutario.
Thank you. Hey, Robert, how many loans are out there right now?
Mm.
Most of our loans are 7-year terms. I would say we got probably around 500 right now.
500 right now.
Yes.
And every one of those who've applied are on our registry. Are they required to be a member of the registry?
That's the number one priority,
Okay.
to verify ancestry.
Okay, that's the right answer. Thank you.
Sure thing, go ahead. What was it? All right, go
Yeah.
ahead, Kai.
Do you know, as the market adjusts and interest rates change, almost regularly, what is our process for assessing the rates that we provide to our beneficiaries to make sure that we're, ensuring we have a decent rate of return, but also one that helps get our native beneficiaries into a product that is either as competitive or exceeds what is out in the marketplace.
Appreciate that question, trustee. So right now, the interest rate on our business loans is 4%. The consumer loans is between 5 and 6%. But one of us gonna chime in.
Maybe we should go to the presentation and with the
Sure.
numbers.
Yes,
Done
let's do,
already.
yeah, we
No,
didn't do
this
that,
is
right?
the introduction, the grassroots
Oh,
kind
okay.
of introduction.
He's ready for questions.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, let's get to the presentation.
Okay.
Thank you, Robert.
You know what, then I would just have one comment, Robert, on your flyer on the right. If we can update that, minor details, but our Kona office doesn't exist anymore. And I believe the number for the East Hawaii office is the old office number. So maybe we'll just call it Hawaii Island, parentheses, Hilo.
We'll make that change.
Yeah.
Oh, good, okay. That's
Money
easy.
need change, but important.
It is.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, we can begin.
Oh, this presentation.
Yeah, we didn't do. a
Oh, got it,
presentation.
got it.
This is the
Okay.
one that-
This is the real one.
That's the real one. All set? All right, go ahead. Mm-hmm,
Got it.
Slide 2,
Okay.
please.
next one.
Okay, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, this is the division's purpose. So the Office of Hawaiian Affairs is committed to ensuring Native Hawaiians of their ohana have access to resources to assist them in pursuing their financial goals. Through caring, supportive growth, our lending program can provide Native Hawaiians with an improved sense of economic well-being. So that's the purpose of NARF. The alignment to OHA's mandates are through HRS 10-5 parentheses 8 and HRS 10-H. Our alignment to the MIMO strategies is specifically OHA Strategy 7 to advance the policies and programs and practices that strengthen Ohana's ability to pursue multiple pathways through economic stability. And specifically 7.2, increase access to capital and credit for community strengthening. And 7.3, increase the number of Native Hawaiian ohana who are resource stable. For example, financial and subsistence. Slide 3. The mission of NARF is to enhance access for all persons of Hawaiian ancestry to credit, capital, and financial services with skills so as to create jobs, wealth, and economic and social being for all the people of Hawaii. Okay, listed is NARF's purpose pursuant to 45 Code of Federal Regulations, CFR 1336.61, the operation guidelines which address the regulatory requirements of the program. And the following slides provide the offerings of the Native Hawaiian Loan Fund and OHA's Consumer Microloan Program. So if you just scroll through the slides, next slide, those show all the offerings, the amounts, the terms, the interest rates. So I'm not going to go through each and every one of the offerings, but I thought it important that you have those key elements of NARF and the products that they offer under the operational guidelines of ANA, the Administration for Native Americans. Okay, slide 5. Slide 5 is the staff of NARF and the positions they occupy. There are 3 vacant positions, which one of the loan processor position is an optional if warranted. The other vacant positions is currently being filled by an independent contractor. And we're still looking for a loan manager. The department reports to the CFO and the CFO reports to Kapohana Stacy Ferrer. Slide 6. Next slide, please. Next slide.
Next one. No.
The next one, slide 6. There.
It's this one,
Yeah.
structure.
Thank you. Okay, this slide is the organization chart of the Native Hawaiian Revolving Loan Fund Program, which includes the oversight of the ANA Commissioner. The operation guidelines describe the general responsibilities for the ANA Commissioner, the Loan Administrator, which is OHA, the NARF Manager and staff, the Board of Directors, the Technical Assistant Providers, the strategic lending partners. So if requested, I can provide the responsibilities of the NARF structure. However, right at this point, it's going to take too long to go through individually. Okay, next slide. Goals and objectives. So NARF's primary goal is to provide as many loans as possible to our beneficiaries. So in my opinion, the touches are more important than the amounts. And also, just in the back of your mind, we're the lender of last resort for our beneficiaries.
I'm sorry, when you said we're the last resort?
So, if you're right,
Got you.
okay, our results from fiscal 21 to fiscal 24 have been impressive. Loan value increased from 21 loans in fiscal 21 to 57 in fiscal 22, 171% increase. Then 69 loans in fiscal 23, a 21 increase from the prior year. And then 125 loans in fiscal 24, an 81% increase in volume. The dollar increase was from 2.78 million from fiscal 21 to fiscal 24. The fiscal 25 year-to-date results are so far 81 loans for a total of 2.7 million, which is not reflected in this presentation. I just kind of did a quick and rough estimate of what we currently have and what was distributed so far in fiscal 25. So we are off target by about 3 million loan volume, and that's mainly due to the estimate of 2 million of 3 loans for Hua Canoe loans. We have not had any yet in fiscal 25. Our goals, so our main spending priorities are the internal staff build out. We need to hire a loan manager, which has been vacant since July 2024. We have to effectuate the transition of one professional accounting consultant to an in-house finance and operations officer. And at that point, we need to determine what the loan value targets for NARF will be for fiscal 26 and 27 after being fully staffed and running. We need to continue to work with the federal and state legislature and other Native Hawaiian partners to remove NARF from the ANA oversight. And the biggest advantage to this would be to place the NARF investment portfolio, currently in T-bills, into the Native Hawaiian Trust Fund, and Ryan to make a lot more money for us. Then we can turn more loans over. Okay, slide 8. Next slide. Okay, this is our strategic alignment and key initiatives. So how our work supports MIMO is OHA Strategy 7. Our goals and objectives is the internal PIA building, maintain current levels of execution in the PIA, remove NAR from the ANA oversight, and then maintain fiscal 25 loan targets until such time as the permanent staff are at the current level of execution. To do, hire the best, transition planning and thoughtful execution of the independent accounting consultant to an in-house staff development and training, and then replace the current expertise with new staff and execute accordingly. So I just, for some background, when I first started and took over management of NARV, there was a similar disconnect with the accounting books and records that the team and I put in better internal controls and proper reporting processes, because NARF is responsible for 99% of our federal programs, and they require a single audit done by external auditors. And because it's a break-even type of business, 1 year, 63 million was a big deal. 63,000 was a big deal and caused, a prior period adjustment. So good accounting in NARF is very important. And so how we measure success is to achieve the loan volume and dollar value targets in fiscal 26 and 27 for that of fiscal 25. Our budget request for the NARF program is $2.4 million. Personnel is the largest at 1.3 million. Program costs at 400,000. Contracts at 400,000. Overhead at 186,000. And equipment total is 72,000, and travel at 34,000. So next slide shows the details of what encompasses those expense categories. And in column I, the contracts were not detailed correctly. So if we go to contracts first, they actually, the 390,000 is actually for external audit fees, Hua Canoe outsourced loan underwriting fees and services, technical assistance to our beneficiaries.
The next
Just the
page.
contracts, the description is not correct. So I'm just letting you know that
Oh,
this is what's in the description, should have been in the description. Yes, that's correct. Yes, but the advertising for programs is basically a cut and paste from the program costs, and I didn't add the specifics, which are in the budget too. But I'm just calling that out. So external audit fees, the outsourced loan underwriting fees, technical assistance, credit reporting, and legal fees for review of documents and forms used in NARF to ensure legal compliance. So as you can see, the personnel is the largest, and that includes the build out of the internal team and to transition one full-time employee to transition to a full-time employee from an independent consultant. And then program costs include advertising for the program, a bad debt estimate, rental booths and chairs for exhibits, and storage for records and plant rentals, postage of loan documents to our beneficiaries, seminars and conferences. And then overhead is the office rent and storage that NARF pays to OHA or to the Nalama Kukui. Investment management fees for our T-bills, collection agency services, and bank fees. And then equipment and travel, which total 105,000, is for repairs and maintenance. And then the travel costs to travel to the neighbor islands for board meetings and for board members to come to Oahu and booths at relevant events. Okay, that concludes my presentation. So you can go
Okay,
through.
Great, thank you so much for
questions.
that. All right, we're going to open up to questions from our Board of Trustees. I see, okay, I see the first hand up, and that's Kai Kahele. You may proceed.
Thanks. Thanks, Ramona. Hey, we're looking at the budget tables under the C column. Starting on page 66, it's listed as federal. Is that correct?
That's correct.
There's no trust funds that go to support this program?
Correct. Because we did a contribution that Robert had indicated in the beginning for the 200 million. And so the money's in that account, in our bank accounts, and the earnings from our loans and any realized gains and losses go back into this account. And then it funds all the expenses of NARF.
Okay, so the budget request here on your last slide, this is all federal funds then?
Correct.
Nothing is coming from the trust fund?
Nothing.
Okay,
Um,
that was my first one.
oh, okay.
You go ahead.
So I wanted to know, good to know that it's federally funded, but are we making money?
I think we could make more if we get from under the oversight of ANA because it's very restrictive operational guidelines that we have to adhere to. And as I indicated before, the biggest disadvantage is the investment in T-bills. So we make maybe 4.5% now, where we could make at least 7% in the Native Hawaiian Trust Fund if the funds were there.
I see. Go ahead, go ahead, Stacy.
I think it's important that Ramona share why we think getting out from under the oversight is
Yeah.
important. There really is no value add at this point of having that oversight, other than the fact that we have to do a lot of reporting. So can you just share with trustees if there's anything additional that they should know about that?
No, that pretty much sums it up.
Go ahead, Trustee Akina.
Is there a strategic pathway to getting out of federal oversight and
Yes, we've
privatizing
been
it, or at
working
least
on
bringing
that.
into OHA?
So we've met with Hirono's office and we've met with Shasta's office and we've met with NA. NA is very open to,
Okay.
coming up from
So
their
what you're all
oversight.
envisioning is that we'll reinvest the funds in the Native Hawaiian Trust Fund.
Mhm. But basically, it's going to take an act of Congress. It needs to be,
Oh,
it needs to be passed by the House, the Senate, and signed by the President.
But we need to elect more former congressmen then.
So right now, I think the strategy is to avoid eye contact because because we don't think maybe ANA will be affected, right, directly, but they might, some of their staffing might, decrease. And so there's a lot of things that we need to get approval from ANA, like our write-offs and our budget and things like that. So there's a lot of things that we need to do and get the commissioner's approval. And that might get a little harder
Sure,
if ANA is affected.
understood. And just a real fast question. I don't want to take our time to talk about it here, but has there been any dream thinking about potentially increasing the kind of products that are offered to include mortgages?
Well, mortgages are specifically excluded in the guidelines and any kind of,
Right. Is that federal guidelines?
yes,
So if we were not under the federal,
we could do different things.
so has that been talked about? As a
Well, first
possibility?
things first, we have to kind of get
Okay.
out from the oversight.
We have to fill some personnel positions at least. Okay, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Brickwood.
Okay, thank you. Timing is key on everything, right? So if you could read the tea leaves, what do you see on the federal level? I mean, there's a lot of insecurity. Is ANA even on the chopping block? Is it part of this new administration's moves? Or how doesn't that make it easier for us to disconnect?
Well, Everett had done an assessment of the risks for ANA, and he doesn't think that there is a risk of them just wiping out the program, but they might decrease it, right? They might prune some of the programs. So that'll affect our operations in NARF if that occurs or could occur.
Okay. So if there is like a nudge towards disconnecting, we could maybe hang on to that as a little fruit to go to rationalize how we disconnect from ANA. I mean, that would be the plan, to disconnect from the federal.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Then strategically, it would be a lot different in NARF,
Yes, and our returns would be much larger.
correct?
Yeah. Okay, Mahalo.
Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead, Kai.
Back to the personnel question. So you originally started your presentation with the grants manager or the loan, I'm sorry, not grants, but loan manager position went vacant in July of 24.
It was actually vacant during my time. I had to hire a loan manager, and so I hired Aikue as a loan manager. And then the accounting needed to be a little beefed up, and then I lost the accountant at in my department. And so that's when I brought in the independent consultant to cover that and to clean up some of the accounting records for NARF.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe Stacy, you can help add some context to this. Why the vacancies in this division for so long? You know, if we're looking at the org chart, you know, we need to hire a manager, a finance operations officer, a loan processor. And the only reason I say that is because when we have vacancies, we're unable to do more robust work in this division, but it also sends, to me, the wrong message to our beneficiaries that we're not taking this work and this division as seriously as it should. It also doesn't allow us to provide the technical assistance that our beneficiaries might need, the support, the training to provide borrowers financial loans who might not otherwise qualify in other, you know, in other financial institutions because of their financial status, if we don't have the capacity in-house to do this work. So why the vacancies, and are those vacant position descriptions written and ready to be posted?
Okay, the loan manager position is posted, and I take responsibility for the loan manager's vacancy because I was going to restructure the department. It was posted when Aikue left, and we were not successful in filling it. So I took it back, and I wanted to create like a financial manager, more of an accountant type leader in NARF that would be responsible for the budgeting and, you know, the contracting and things like that, and also support the NARF staff. As far as the technical assistance, it still exists. So there's always been technical assistance provided in the NARF. So the beneficiaries have not suffered in spite of that. And I've been the loan manager since Aikue left, so I'd like to think it was a slight upgrade.
Do you think the NARF staff currently have the support and capacity they need?
No. We probably need another loan underwriter because of the volume. Is that correct? NARF?
You can, why don't you come up? Otherwise people can't hear you.
Aloha, I'm Steve.
Aloha.
Chair.
Hi, Steve.
I believe that the loan manager is the key to that. The loan manager is an underwriter as well, or has been in the past. Akui was a trained loan officer and a loan manager, so he handled a decent percentage of the incoming applications for underwriting. And in that case, I would be the secondary underwriter, and when he underwrote, or when I underwrote, he would be the secondary underwriter. All of the decisions go to the board of directors for their review, and they don't see the borrower's name or the business name. They keep that confidential, but they get to see all the financials, and we can answer questions for them. If they want to see a specific document, we can help them with that. But for the most part, they concur with mine or Lorena's decision at the moment, or the manager, which was a Akui in the past. So I don't know that we need another underwriter per se, but we definitely could use the manager that is talented in accounting, and I think that's been one of the reasons why it's been hard to find someone. Also, our loan managers are used to getting paid well because they generally get some kind of an override from sales and stuff, which this isn't necessarily that type of position, but they are, I think some of them might be thinking, I've got to take the sacrifice in order to work for OHA because I'm not going to make the kind of money I used to. On the other hand, I'm also surprised we haven't received more applications because the loan business is depressed right now because of the high interest rates. Right. Banks have little to no employees. They're not looking to hire anyone. I really thought we would have more applicants, people who wanted to ditch the commission-based business for a secure state kind of a position, but we haven't had anyone apply.
Is this one of the positions we're prioritizing recruiting? I mean, I see it on our website. The posted salary range is 71 to 87,000. That's probably not enough to attract what you're describing. What are we doing to make those
Yes.
adjustments, Stacy?
So one, this would fall under the new ad hoc, again, in terms of salary increases. And in talking to the team, we did agree that we should add this to the list of bonuses, signing bonuses. So that request did go to our comms team. So I'm waiting for that to be updated because we've been successful in taking a few positions off the list, and now we we can add in additional positions. So in talking with Stephen, looking at where are some of those recruitment pools, because at this point, we're going to have to go through our networks. I mean, it's such a shallow pool. And so I do want to say that, the comment regarding beneficiaries thinking that we're not taking this seriously, our situation is no different than any other government agency that across the Paina. And so this is not about not taking anything seriously. We take it very seriously. But again, we have constraints. We're trying to address constraints, real time at this board table. Our staff is trying to address as best as we can the recruitment. It is all hands on deck. The fact that we have not been an employer of choice, that hasn't happened overnight. That's years in the making. And some of that is reputation that we're trying to rebuild, that we want to make this a place where people want to come to work. And I think we're making those steps. But again, every vacancy is taken seriously. And we are, there are people that are overworked, and we're trying our best to address it as we can. And certainly we were having conversations around how best to address this vacancy. Not easy to do.
I've had a few conversations, and she said, Steve, what do we need to do? And I made a few suggestions on, I think we need to reach out to people we know. We need to reach out to our contacts, not only in the banking business, but also in the Native Hawaiian community. I mean, Akui left to go to another Native Hawaiian organization. So, and as far as employer of choice, this is my employer of choice. I've never worked in a place I was more happy and fulfilled than this particular place. And I've been in banking for 35 years. So I love it here.
Follow up to that then. Sounds like there are, restrictions, limitations on the use of our fund because of the federal oversight. Should the budget committee and the board consider allocating money into the budget that isn't constrained by those constraints? Should we offer, lines of credit or different types of programs of our own trust fund resources to provide to our beneficiaries? Does it make sense to do that?
I think it's a great idea. I think the down payment assistance program that we've started is a great first step in that. I mean, that's also in conjunction with ASB. It's not our funds that we're lending out, but we're guaranteeing those funds. I think that if we could have a part of either NARF or a separate little entity like the down payment assistance where we're able to help. We do have the consumer loan, the emergency one, where we'll help people with some emergencies that come up. That's also handled by our office as well. Those requests there aren't many of those, but we do them fast and we do them as efficiently as possible. So because generally those requests are for folks for things where people need money right away. Their car broke down, somebody passed away, and they need to deal with that. So that's OHA money that's set aside for that. But yes, 100% Chair. If we could have some funds that were available for lending out, maybe for folks that fall between the cracks. They're not fully qualified for the NARF program, but they really need help, and maybe we could find a way to help folks still with a loan, but maybe some kind of forgivable loan over time that was where they made payments for X amount of time, and then at some point they would be able to forgive that money, kind of like a grant combination of a loan and a grant or something. I don't know.
But could you, Verona, make a suggestion in your follow-up questions that we have and what we would want to look at including in the budget?
Yes, I would absolutely love to work on something like that.
Okay.
That'd be great. Yes, go ahead, Stacy.
I also wanted to share that, and I know strategy and implementation hasn't come up yet, but our housing team has been working on proposals to look at recycling funds. Yeah, at a certain point, I mean, the loans has its place. But I also think that if OHA, because the demand is so great in housing, that we want to look at ways to recycle those funds over and over again as best as we can, as well as potentially, investing in some of these programs where we are becoming a shareholder of, and so again, it's not just money going out, but it's also how do we retain some equity in some of these projects, or funds are revolving, so that once something is paid off, we're able to, then distribute again to other. All of that to say is SNI has been working with our real estate consultants on some proposals. So I think it's kind of a mix of programs. So when SNI comes up, I would love for our housing team to talk about some of the work that
That'd be great.
they're putting together.
Any other questions, trustees?
Your travel?
Go ahead.
Do you have a travel request? Anything in travel for this?
Yes, there's travel for the staff and basically for the staff to go to board meetings that might occur at another island, because each board member is represents an island. And then we usually tack on a site visit at that island also. And there's also requirements for site visits in the guidelines.
How was
So,
Mayor Monarch, out of curiosity?
It was wonderful. We had a really good
Yeah, tell us about that.
um,
Since you're asking for it in the 26-27 budget, so how
Right,
effective was it?
I think it was very effective. I get to talk to lots of folks. Last year, Robert was able to go with me as well, but with OHA staff, I think it's a good representation of OHA. We're right there. We get to talk with people. People come and talk story. They ask questions. I definitely see an increase in our applications in the weeks that follow Mary Monarch. We've been receiving multiple applications on a daily basis. Where normally we'll get maybe 3 to 5 in a week. We've been getting 6 to 8 or 9 in a week since Mary Monarch. I'm sure they kind of go hand in hand, but I think it's a good, public relations situation as well. Being there, representing the program. I'm always surprised that folks will tell me, "Oh, I've never heard of this program," or "I never even knew about it." Yet we spend plenty of money every year making sure people know about it, both on, High Now with those segments we do that Robert does. He's so good at that, and getting that information out there. I mean, I drive, I'll say I drive for Lyft part-time, and I'm constantly telling people as I drive around about OHA and the loan program that we have. So I believe Mary Monarch is a great participant. I mean, we are a sponsor of it, and to have us there, saying hi to people, I think is something that is very important.
And that outreach, so in both years of the budget, we're proposing to send 2 people.
We have, but last year, didn't do it for a couple of years because of COVID, of course, but we started again last year, and Robert and I went, so it's for 2 folks.
Do
Yeah.
we have a presence in the Civic Auditorium?
Yes, we were right there, just beyond the food, right next to where they buy the shirts. We were right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
You mentioned about the commercial, I mean, what show was it, High Now Daily? I didn't know anything about it. So is there like a way in which we could find out a schedule of when are these commercials or promos come out on behalf of OHA?
Absolutely.
could
I
watch
do
it?
believe they're also reposted to the Facebook account for OHA. There, you'll find them there. They're almost every single one of them is on the loans.oha.org as well for anyone who wants to see them and click on them. There's a whole, obviously it links over to the YouTube channel, so you can
Yeah.
see them on the
I'm
YouTube.
terrible at going on social media.
And they also
I don't know.
replay them during, often also through kind of randomly. I don't know that we have to schedule it, but they do play them. I do see them. I do see Robert's face pop up from time to time as I'm flipping through the channels. So, but generally they get scheduled when we've paid for them to be scheduled around the Merry Monarch. We had commercial, the song contest, we have a commercial, and we're always looking for new areas to get that information out there. Again, without a manager, we haven't really full-time manager. We haven't
Yes,
had
right.
the main focus on advertising. Also because the loan applications continue to come in. Generally
Right.
do more advertising when that slows down.
Yeah.
But I'm a person who would love to believe to keep that momentum going. So we're doing things. We talk with Nathan, and like the Merry Monarch is another one that's marketing our options. But mainly it's word of mouth. It's our beneficiaries telling their aunties and their neighbors and everybody, hey, give OHA a call. They can help you out with that new business loan. A lot of the loans we do are for small businesses in that $20,000 to $50,000 range. Above 50, you need collateral, which sometimes is an issue, but most folks, especially when they've been in business for a while, that's not a problem. They have equipment, they have an automobile, they have a life insurance policy that they can put up as collateral for those loans. And the loans we've been doing have been excellent loans lately, with everybody paying their payments on time. So
Well, that's
it's
good
been
to
very
hear.
encouraging.
Good question.
Go ahead.
Ramona, the trouble worksheets, page 27, line 20, and I guess it would be line 45. Just to walk me through what I'm reading here. So the event is either a board meeting and it's on a neighbor island. We're proposing to send 5 staff over 3 trips. There's no overnights, just for one day. What is, can you explain to me the thought process behind this request?
It's a board meeting that we have with the board of directors.
Oh,
Yeah.
not our board.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, not our.
Thank you for clarifying. So our team would fly,
Yes,
or we would fly, the 5 people traveling are the 5 board members then,
basically our staff
our staff.
flying over there for a board meeting.
And we do those 3 times a year?
We actually have board meetings 4 times a year.
Oh. Says
Go ahead,
3.
Rickwood.
Okay, thank you.
Last year with the CUI here, we went to Maui, and then including the meeting, we also had 2 site visits. Part of our guidelines require site visits where we follow up with our beneficiaries. Mainly business accounts is the one we tend to focus on, just to get a follow-up with them, talk with them, and then so that we have to put it in we have to do quarterly reports to ANA, and that's one of the things they ask about. So we need some, content to put into that report. So we make it a point to do that. Also, we just travel. We would love to go more, but it's in the budget. But last year for 24, we only went to Maui as a team. The whole team went to Maui, including the board of directors, and we actually had a meeting at the Maui office there. So we'd love to do that at least 2 or 3 times. We do meet 4 times a year. Generally, they're right here on this table, and board of directors fly in to Oahu to be part of that meeting.
We've got a great office in Hilo.
I didn't get a chance to go to the new office yet, but
That's
it
nice.
looks
Yeah.
nice.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
go ahead, Brickwood.
Thank you. Do we have product that serves the diaspora? We have a lot of Native Hawaiians up there on the continent. Do they qualify?
They don't right now. The guidelines specifically say you must be a resident of the state of Hawaii, and including, of course, being a Native Hawaiian ancestry. But that is definitely a need. We get calls regularly from the continent asking if we can help them. Sometimes they're upset when we say we aren't able to.
I think another limitation too is there has to be 100% Hawaiian-owned business. So that means that if a husband is Hawaiian and the wife is a non-Hawaiian, we cannot loan money to that business.
I see. I noticed some of our products are loans for tuition and such. And so those Native Hawaiians who live away, we should find a way to help them as well. So I would encourage you to take a look at that. Would it be because we're not dealing with local banks or such? What would be the reason?
Right now, it's the operating guidelines, the NA operating guidelines. Yeah.
If we're able to separate from the ANA, we can adjust or reduce some of those guidelines that would allow for that flexibility. But there's zero flexibility right now unless we ask for the change, which takes quite a long time and literally an act of Congress, as the guidelines are a bill, they're a law.
Squeeze our way into the ANA requirements because we're Native as well?
I would love to do it. I mean,
Okay.
the previous director was here and she loved us and she really wanted to be assistants, but with all the changes, she's no longer there.
Let me see. Well, if you could just perhaps come back one day with, some research on that, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay, anyone else? Trustees, all right, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Mahalo. Yay. Give them a round of applause. They deserve it. All right, where are we now? We can round out this last. Where are we? Oh, that's it? Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was it. That's right, I forgot. Ye are. Yes, we're going to. All right, everyone, we're going to take a recess until tomorrow. And we're going to follow up with tomorrow's meeting on item C of the agenda for Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. And that's going to include the presentation by the OHA Administration, budget briefings for the proposed biennium budget for fiscal year 26-27. Budgets will be of the land assets division related to the management and operations of OHA commercial lands, including Nalamakukui, Iwilei, Harbor Shops, and Kaka'akamakai and legacy lands. Along with, and these lands will be included for the island of Hawaii, Maui, Oahu, and Kauai. At this time,